Alrighty. And hello there, everybody. And this is Super Pack. How you doing today? But today we're going to cover something called arcade versus console. And over the years, well, a lot of games got arcade games first initially released, and then they get ported over to a console of some sort. And this happened over the years. I mean, Space Invaders, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, you name it. But some titles actually seem to be better in one form or another, and sometimes they actually get a better upgrade as a home port, or at least they sometimes get a better sequel in this case. The game we're going to talk about today is Space Harrier. Now, Space Harrier was created back in 1985 by the folks over at Sega. In fact, it was Yu Suzuki who developed the game. He would later become the head of the R&D department, AM2, and he created a whole slew of games for Sega over the years. Notably, games like Virtua Fighter was one of his better titles as far as AM2 development is concerned. But in this case, this is one of the early 16-bit games released in the arcades. It was first. It was one of the first. I think Hang On may have been the first one to use the System 16 board. Nevertheless, this one also used the System 16 board, and it was a great arcade board because it could actually hardware zoom pixels at high rates of speed, as you will see in the gameplay, as we'll get to that in just a little bit. It's a great title. Made a few ports. We got the Sega Master System that we're going to look at. The Famicom had one. I don't think it was released as a Nintendo Entertainment System port, but most notably, it also got a Sega Genesis port, sort of. In the Sega Genesis case, it was Space Harrier 2. And there's a bit difference between the System 16 and the Sega Genesis hardware. Sega Genesis hardware was like a scaled down version of it, except it didn't have the scaling technology. That actually got added on with the hardware from the Sega CD, but the Sega Genesis itself did not have that. So we're going to be taking a look at that in just a second as we switch over, see what is what, and we're going to add that right there. And with the miracle of technology, we're going to be playing Space Harrier in just a moment. Like I said, if you haven't seen Space Harrier, if if you're new to this, this was a fantastic yesteryear game. Actually, they made several different arcade units as well. They actually had a deluxe cabinet where you practically sat in a booth, and then of course they had the typical stand-up coin-op. Well, let's show you what the game is all about, shall we? Since we're only a few minutes into this, I have no idea how long this stream will be, but it might be worth taking a look at. So let me go ahead and get the game started right here. Yep, that's the one. Okay, it should get started at some point. Make sure we don't all go deaf by it too.
Welcome to the family.
That sounds about
Get
right.
ready.
That sounds about right indeed. Okay, so here's the gameplay. You see, you are flying in the air with your vacuum cleaner, as we used to always call it. And it was pretty cool. Here you get to die repeatedly, as you will hear. Oh, that I did. In this game, the more credits you put in, the more lives you get. So we're going to start off with 6 Harriers, as they call it.
Welcome to the fantasy.
Let's see some of the other boards, and you can see here they come right at you. Boy, they come right at you. They start shooting all kinds of things. Some of the stuff that you fly against, you can shoot down, like the trees and such, but things like stone pillars and iron rods and all that, nope, you pretty much whack into them, well, you're dead. So, and each stage has a boss. And the types of bosses, some are a bit more harder than others. This one's a fun one. You have to shoot all the rock faces that surround the cabbage head, for lack of a better term. Yep. And we'll see how I do here. I won't do good at all, I'll tell you. So, let's stop the music. And let's go ahead
Welcome to the fantasy zone. Get ready.
Oh, I like this one. I hope to reach this one. Also, this had some. My wife and I always say, "Get ready," as we die. Let's get started, shall we? 6 players. Here we go.
Welcome to the fantasy zone.
Ah, yes. Stage 1 moot describes my gameplay perfectly. Now, the baddies in this one, they make a sound when they appear on screen. That's kind of alerts you that danger is coming. Nice little touch there. Not quite menacing sounds, but nevertheless sounds to let you know that they are coming. Okay. Oh, I hated these guys. See, there you go. That's perfect.
Get ready.
Yes. And whoa. Ah, yes. Okay. What is that? Oh, those are those things again. There we go. Got them all. Excellent. Okay, the first baddie is the dragon that we saw earlier in the track mode. And he's kind of fun to get because you have to hit him in the head. Hit him anywhere else, the shots will ricochet as he shoots flaming meatballs at you. See, why don't you just stay in the middle? That's why you don't stay in the middle. And the more times you hit him, he'll start changing color. I think that's about it for him. Yep, there it goes. Perfect. Giza's the next one. I get to play. Fishy heads, whatever they are. Ooh. Very fast and intense game. Hey, great.
Get ready.
Getting ready. This is one of my wife's favorite games. She loves this game. She does a really good job playing it, too, I have to admit. It's one of the few games she can actually better me at. That and kick, she likes to kick my butt on. Oh, no sound effect. There you go. Pissers, Jesus. Alrighty, what do we got here? Oh, them. Yes. Saw that in track mode as well. Now, they'll actually come right up at you, and they can actually hit you if they get close like that. If they get close enough.
Get ready.
Alright. There you go. Amar is the next one. Oh, wow. Jesus. Ah. Let's continue. A couple more. Yep. Go. Yeah. That's what I love about it. It's so fast. Jesus.
Get ready.
It just comes right up at you, man. Love it. So imagine you're in the arcade and you're pretty much wasting quarters on this one. And there is an ending to... Of course. There is an ending to this game. You have to get through all the levels. There are quite a few of them. Jesus. I am doing so well. Okay, I suck.
Get ready.
Gee, man.
Get ready.
So let's see, that's already, what? $1.50. Actually, no, this was a 50-cent game. That's right. Gee. Jeez. Whoa. There's the two-headed dragon. Frickin' frack. Similar to the other one, you have to hit the heads. Changing color. Yes. Wow.
Get ready.
I deserve that one. Cecibel. Cecil. Okay, now we got a ceiling. Whoa! Don't believe you can destroy those. You can those, better. Gee, man, that is...
Get ready.
When you consider this is a 37-year-old game, and it is lightning fast. I love it. Ah. Jeez. Whoa. Alrighty, what do I... Oh, I got the hockey players. Well, that was quick.
You're doing great.
I am! That's why I spent $1.50 already. You gotta ram in as many things as you can while you're flying foul core. On a fantasy humor. That's it. That's it. Okay. And those are bonus points as they rack up. There you go. Not bad.
You're doing great.
I wouldn't go that far. Okay, what we got now? Ooh. Jesus.
Get ready.
Yep. I just know they're jets. I just noticed that. Like from Afterburner, which would be coming up, I think. It wouldn't be around yet. Oh! Gee, man, that is...
Get ready.
Alright. What a mess. Holy cow. Nice.
You're doing great.
Lucasia. Ah, those elephants, yes. Yeah! That's it.
Get ready.
I think we'll let this one count down. Anyway, that's the arcade gameplay. What do I got there? 7,734,980. It's okay. Considering I threw in 6 credits. I'll put my name in there. The cool music. Yu Suzuki, I think, also did some of the sound programming. Why are you not moving up to the next letter? Next, there we go. Okay. Alright, and that is Space Harrier. How about that? So, that's that one.
Welcome to the fantasy zone.
Yeah,
Get
we're
ready.
gonna get rid of here. That was a fast game. It really was. So, of course, just like with everything else, you gotta have arcade. You gotta have some home ports for your arcade games. I'm gonna switch up the emulators here, and let's see what I got here for first. Give me one quick moment. Alright, first up for that is the Sega Master System. Now, Sega Master System was a rather cool machine, I will admit. I enjoyed mine very much. It had some cool games. Not a lot of them, but some cool games. It had largely the disadvantage of going up against the juggernaut, the Nintendo Entertainment System. And that's kind of a shame, because it could have done quite a bit more. It had good sound chips, had great colors. It had a greater color palette. I didn't think it had a greater sound system than Nintendo, I have to admit. But it did do pretty good as far as some games. It had a lot of Sega arcade ports, and of course you had games like Golden Axe and Altered Beast, Outrun, and Hang On, and of course Space Harrier. But was Space Harrier up to snuff as far as the arcade game? And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, no, it was not. It was good, but you saw how fast that game was. You saw how quick you had to be in order to successfully play that game. Sega. Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. Similar title screen. Doesn't sound as fancy. Let's get into some attract mode here so we can see what we're dealing with. Okay, we're right up to Lucasia, where we just left off in the arcade game. But as you can see, it is not nearly as fast. As far as the music's concerned, it's more like a music box version of the arcade game that we heard. Yeah. Not quite as great. So anyway, that's the Master System track mode. Like I said, it was okay. I got it because I love the game, and this was the system to have it on. Because Nintendo, while they had it in Japan on the Famicom, which I'll show you after this one, they did not have it here for America. I don't think. I know Tengen. Item? Yeah. I know Tengen brought in some of the games. They ported Alien Syndrome over from the Master System and Fantasy Zone. Good God. Just saw the screen. But I don't believe they ported this one over. May have been a good thing. I'll show you why. We had a different game. We had 3D World Jumper, which was not from Sega at all. But it was a similar style game. And in my opinion, it was actually better. Here we go. With my slow motion, I've noticed that he's carrying a happy face. That was quick. See, he's carrying a happy face. His little vacuum cleaner. Okay. It is almost like watching a slow motion version of the arcade game we just watched, and you can see around the sprites they actually have color background because, well, I guess they didn't clip around them as well as they could have. They're still in their squares, if you will. Yeah. I think another good example, if you saw the arcade game versus the home game, we might do Ghosts and Goblins. Of course, Ghouls and Ghosts was the sequel to that. Similar properties to that on the part of the guy there. Where the Master System looked pretty cool, but it didn't have anywhere near the speed or the power. Okay, last life. Okay, here comes the baddie. It's gonna be that dragon. barely see him. There he is. It's almost like a pop-up book in comparison in a way. The way he just comes at you. There you go. Giza coming up. I still got it in me. Oh, not Geezer, it's Giza. Oh, that was quick. With the sad, sad music. Yes. Oh, I could put my initials in here. Yay. Oh, much faster, too. No. Get over here. There you go. Oh, I love the analog stick on my controller here. Makes me just want to go. Alright. One more try. Yes. Oh, I made it this time. Yay. Spoke too soon. Yeah. I am surprised I actually recovered well enough for that one. Okay. I mean, it looks sluggish. You think you'd be able to, play better too because it's moving much slower. No, the movement is sluggish along with the gameplay. But this is the Master System. This was an 8-bit system porting over from a 16-bit game, one of the earliest 16-bit games in the arcade. So, while I get it's going to be slower and all that, it's true. And the Genesis obviously would have the power to do so, and a good example of that would be Sonic the Hedgehog, of course. Arguably one of the fastest games of its time. But, still. Okay, back to the dragon. With the cheerfully menacing music. That was quick. Alright. And no score this time, huh? Nope. Like I said, it literally is like playing the game underwater. And while I appreciate the effort as a gamer, I love the title. Reason to have a Master System. We're going to go ahead and move on to the Master System title. No, I'm not playing that again. This hurts. It's painful. It really is painful. It is. Hit up the NES. The NES, now, like I said, the Japanese equivalent, of course, the one that came out earlier, would be the Famicom. Well, the Famicom is good. Again, not the arcade powerhouse. Now, of course, there were some great titles for the NES. Super Mario Brothers, of course, first comes out to mind. Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. Oh, good lord. Some off-beat games, too. I loved the Bump and Jump. I thought that was a great title. But this, again, not really one of them. We'll see in just a second. I think it's ready. And let's go ahead and hit play to start. The right transition this time, yes, okay. More simplified title screen. And is it any faster or better? You be the judge. Well, it's certainly smaller. And while it is faster... well, it is faster. Again, it's like playing a Master System game. Of course, it's ported over to the Nintendo hardware. I actually think this is a better version than that of the Master System, sadly. And, of course, we didn't really get to see this one, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I don't remember ever seeing this as an NES port. Maybe a Famicom. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe. I know that they did Alien Syndrome. I know they did Afterburner. Take it as it is. I know they did Fantasy Zone, which is a great game, by the way, if you haven't played that one. That's an awesome title. But I don't think they did this one. I may be wrong. Let's get another very short attract mode. Stage 14. Guess they couldn't afford extra lettering for the title. No sound from the enemies. And only a 5-name vanity table. Alright. Let's get this ready. Take it for what it is. You're trying to cram 16-bit programming into an 8-bit console, and you're going to have to give away some things, keep some good stuff, and forgive some good stuff, I guess. Alrighty. The poor elephant, he's just looking side to side. Like, what am I doing here? Why? Why am I here? The reason why I didn't play, I forgot that it did this. This is the Space Harrier Saga Prologue. And they actually put it in this for whatever reason. Once upon a time, there existed a beautiful utopia located far, far beyond the most distant galaxy of the universe called Dragonland. It was a peaceful world brimming over with life and light. Then suddenly, in the space year 6226, a dastardly scheme carefully orchestrated by the Evil One was unleashed on this land, which was once been a Garden of Eden. Supernatural phenomena became rampant throughout the devastated planet, and barbaric and evil creatures could literally be seen roaming everywhere, although everything imaginable appeared to have been destroyed on Dragonland. The only living thing that continued to resist the forces of evil was Yura, a friendly dragon. He was nearly at his wits' end when his unrelenting search for a savior, when lo and behold, a fighter from Earth with superhuman ability and psychic powers heard his plea for help and arrived on the scene to help save the day. Now, with the whole universe as your audience, a legendary battle that is surely destined to be passed down to future generations is about to unfold. Welcome to the Fantasy Zone. Hey, that sounds like a good title for a game. Okay. Ready. Okay. And everything being smaller looks actually less chaotic, if you will, with all the things flying at you. They're not really flying at you. They grow up to a point. And remember, neither the Master System nor the Nintendo hardware had scaling. They'd have to redraw the sprites as they got closer. And it kind of looks less smooth, put it that way. got the three things there. What do you pick? Wow. So the sprites move faster, they move smoother, but they're not as big, and they don't draw as quickly. And then the next one after this... Wow, that was quick. Even more sad. Yeah, it's even more sad. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Let's try again. Here we go. Didn't seem to draw the sprites as quickly either, you know, because each time the shots rotate like they did in the other ones, so well, that's a new sprite, and so it doesn't seem to replace them as quickly or as efficiently. The Nintendo could do that, so I'm going to say it's the programming. Okay. Nonetheless, again, it's cramming a 16-bit game into an arcade shell, rather 8-bit shell, doesn't really do it too well. I will say this is a bit harder though than the Master System version. Not as sluggish though. Dragon, not as detailed, and doesn't get anywhere near as close. The meatballs he throws at you aren't as flashy either. Don't seem to be able to hit them. It just changed color, so it did something right. I get slow down here too. See the you got too many sprites on the same line. Well, memory can only take so much, so that's why they start flashing. And you know, it's the Master System. You didn't see that so much, but here you see it a lot. And you see that on other Nintendo games, to be fair. Okay. Oh! You're kidding me. Okay, whatever. Of course not. Only got 196,000 points. And their low is 600,000. I think we've had enough of that. Ah, shut up. Alright. Oh, man. Yeah. Alright. This next one here is the Sega Genesis. Now, Sega Genesis is a 16-bit system. We all know that. Very good one, too. It didn't have all the properties of the System 16 counterpart. Unlike, say, the PlayStation. PlayStation was simply System 11 board from Namco. In comparison, it had virtually everything that the arcade board did have. That's why some of the ports for it were quite good. For example, Tekken, virtually identical to that of the arcade game. Soul Edge as well, or Soul Blade as they call it here. But on the Genesis side, it did have some features taken out, and one of them was scaling. It couldn't scale sprites using its hardware. So what they'd have to do is redraw the sprite. In other words, they'll drop a one from far away, one a little bit closer, 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 and then, of course, as close up as possible. And then it disappears, as we will see. So let's take a look at that. There we go. I've always loved the title music to this one. As we're going to see here in the attract mode, it is much faster. He's carrying a vacuum cleaner again instead of a happy face, and he runs fast too. And we're going to go right up against the bad guy, if I'm not mistaken. Here is the first one. Yep. And the three-headed turtle. Yep. And you got the old sounds back from the arcade game as well, if you will, at least the music style. And this was one of the reasons why I have a Sega Genesis. I love this game. So, I'll catch a couple more of these. Love the music for this as well. I think they called, if I'm not mistaken, they called it Motion as far as the title. So this is the most comparable to that of the arcade game. It is not an arcade port, however, as you know, it's Space Harrier 2. We're going to include it anyway because it should have very similar features to that of the arcade original made a few years before this. Because this was one of the first titles out for the Sega Genesis itself. See, he's going to be going right to a boss, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Paranoia. See the lightning there telling you that there's a boss coming by? And this one was a lot of fun. The fireballs come at you lightning fast speeds. You gotta shoot all the orbs around the creature there first. And then Paranoia will start coming up to you and try and grab you. You actually see a face come up on it as well. Yep. You notice when your character stops moving, you know that's the end of that particular mode there. And this console could handle the speed of the original. Did so very well. Like I said, it had a little bit of a disadvantage, however, because it couldn't zoom those sprites. It actually had to redraw them each and every time, and that takes a lot of horsepower to do. And it did it so rapidly as well. Let's see. Let's get started here. We're going to start on the first board. You can actually select around the various boards here. And we're going to go right to Stuna area. There's all of them right there. There's quite a few of them. I think there's 15 of them. Okay. There they are. Once again, you get sounds telling you that they're there. They're shooting rings at you. And while it looks similar to that of the arcade, where boy, it's pretty fast, and it does get faster than this, by the way. This is just getting started. Those trees, they look a little bit more jittery than the arcade counterpart. And it's because, again, they're redrawing those sprites. So they have ones that are far away, sprites that are a bit more closer, with more detail, and of course, closest, with a great deal of detail. But they have to replace those sprites very quickly, make it look like you're moving closer towards it. There you go. Yep. Oh boy, that looks familiar. Get back in that first game. You're not even a boss. You suck. I can't believe I couldn't destroy it. 1, 2. Nope. That last shot. Yep. There you go. Okay, yay! Made it. Forge yard. Now we got pillars we cannot shoot down, unlike the trees. And the cabbage heads from the first game as well. We're surrounded by those rock faces. Ah! See, now they're coming at you at rapid speed. Ah!
Get ready.
Yep. Okay. Jeez. Man.
Get ready.
It's a good thing you are invulnerable for a few seconds after you die and come back. I swore I flew into a couple of the pillars there. There's paranoia. Map to you won't fire, but moving away it will. Can't shoot in until you get rid of all the orbs. Okay. 1, 2 left. Just one more. Jesus. Okay, now get it, get it, get it, get it. And moves away from me, and that's with a parting shot.
Get ready.
I deserve that. Man. Geez land. You got the jellyfish. And now they're going to start flying towards you because they had enemy sound to there. This is kind of a psychedelic board, if you will, because of the changing colors. And you got the got the deep divers there, if you will. Clams. What are these? Froggies! Yep. Okay. Clams have good bonus points. Also, you don't want to run into them. Don't want to run into them while their mouths are open, otherwise you'll die. Kind of cool that they do that. Nice. Who are we up against? Oh! Falcor has gone evil. Doesn't like you anymore. Nice, man.
Get ready.
Last life. Here we go. Come on, Pack. You can do it. Come on. There we go. Jeez. Zeropolis. Zeropolis? There's two words, zero and polis. So, up. Let's go. Oh, man. Oh, woeful sad music indeed. Ah. Okay. Come on, come down. Come on. Not bad. Not bad at all. There you go. Does that just go right back to zero polis? Zero polis? Let's do that. Let's see how far I can go. Now, the thing is, though, while you can select up to the board that I left off here, I still have to go through all 15 boards. So eventually it will take me back to Stuna. And then, of course, as I reach to this point, it will take me to, ultimately... really... Ultimately, the ending battle. I am doing great. Okay, hockey players... And when they're right up there, they will hit you. Come on. I've always hated these guys. Alrighty. Nope. These are the armor, isn't it? Yep, they're the armor. Roman armor, as I call them. Ah! Whoa! Okay, baddie coming up. Who can it be now? Oh, a lot of them. They're throwing out tops at you, it looks like. I like it to where I can get them to... Nope. That was not a good idea.
Get ready.
I'm getting ready. Man.
Get ready.
Okay, come on. Yes. I think there's a bonus stage coming up. Is it this one? Nope. Copper Hill. I think it's after this one. Jeez. You can't just like stay in a straight line either when playing. You have to move around because of the columns they're throwing at you. Yep. That was eventual. Okay. I'm gonna call it after this one. Oh, goodness. I got a flying something or other at me. Shooting fireballs. It's a cat. Ah. Really? Woefully woe. Do I get a score on the vanity table? I do. Right. Alrighty. That's that. Oh, there we go. That is the Space Harrier titles. I really love those games. Like I said, I was a big fan of Sega. I've always loved Sega. Yu Suzuki is a fantastic programmer. He had been with the company for quite some time. He actually got to develop one of his dream projects. I don't know if you recall it for the Dreamcast. The title just literally flew out of my brain for just a moment there. But he got to develop like a role-playing game where you actually... it was in 1986, and the name of the game just literally escaped my brain. So hopefully somebody will be able to tell me at some time, and I'll probably tell you in a future stream. Oh man, it'll come to me. It will come to me, but what do I know? Anyway, it was a pretty cool. He was a very good programmer. He did a lot of stuff. His big department was AM2, Research and Development. And one of their big games, again, the Virtual Fighter for fighting games, Daytona USA as an arcade racer. You go to the arcades. I went to this humongous arcade. It was called Grand Prix Racer-Rama. And right up there, as soon as you open the doors, you could actually hear them behind the closed doors. And as soon as you open it, blasting Daytona. So it was quite the thing to see an AM2 game from Sega. And Yu Suzuki was pretty much the brains behind that. And, well, he did some good there. So, you can find the arcade titles for Space Harrier. I know that they made Sega Ages for the Sega Saturn, but of course you had to have a Sega Saturn, and most people didn't. Of course, there's always emulation. I'm not going to get into that. On Steam, there is the Sega Genesis collection that you could go and take a look at, and I believe they do have Space Harrier 2 for that as a playable game. But like I said, you just don't really find Space Harrier mentioned too much at all, unless you've actually played the game. And I did. That's one of my favorite games. The one that I got played was the typical stand-up model. Let's see, let me go back to the pictures real quickly. Let's see what we have here. Let's see, put that back over here. I always put it on the wrong one. There it is. Okay. And see, that is the flyer. That is the Space Harrier 2 Mega cartridge. And look at that artwork. Look at that artwork. Yes. Man. You can tell it's something when you see the vibration lines. There is the Famicom version. I couldn't find artwork for the NES version. That's why I assumed they didn't make it for that. But I knew of the Famicom version at the very least. And then there is the Sega Genesis 16-bit cartridge for the Sega Genesis console. Good title. It's a lot of fun playing that. A lot of fun playing this game with you tonight. If you happen to watch the video, if you happen to like what you see, I'm fairly new at this. Oh, that's neat. That is neat. That's my Pac-Man cabinet there. Borrowed its bezel for the vertical games, as opposed to the horizontal games. How does it look there when I add it here? It looks like a poster sitting on top of it now. Well, anyway, if you happen to like what you see here, give me a follow. Want to contribute anything, cheer me on, it's fine too. I put up a schedule now. I don't know if it's going to be a permanent one, but I will be on tomorrow as well, as we'll do a topic, just chatting, and some gameplay as well. Last week, what did we do here? Because it's going to disappear tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. What was the most disappointing game you had today? Tomorrow, rather. What is your most prized possession? What thing do you have in your video game collection? Whether it be a new game now that's out, that's just recently released, or from my era, yesteryear. I'll tell you what it is. In fact, I have a couple of them. You might be interested in seeing what it is. A lot of the pictures that I post up there are actually my inventory pictures of things that I've cataloged. And I do have a bit of a rare game. In fact, I have a couple of rare games that I'll show you. I also have a rather rare console as well. You may have not even heard of it, but what's neat about it, it actually had its own vector monitor. It's a rather cool piece of hardware too, and it came right as the video game industry was crashing in 1983. Poor timing, but that's how it works. They don't exactly come up with this stuff, and 5 minutes later, boom, it's out. It takes a while to develop, to design, to produce, go into production, everything, put it on the store shelf. It could literally take weeks to months, and maybe they don't really see what's really happening. That's happening in this case, of course. The video game crashed. Crap titles took over, and literally no one wanted to buy them anymore. And that was an interesting era. I have to admit. All right, we're going to wrap it up here, folks. Thank you for watching. Like again, if you like what you saw, give me a follow, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.